Hi, I'm making a game. It's Friend Swap. I want to begin with the design of the game. It's inspired by two main sources, the living ecosystem of Monster Hunter and the surreal world building of Delicious in Dungeon. The last generations of Monster Hunter make its world feel alive by design. It exists beyond the player's control. Monsters fight over territory, they hunt for food, and they rest. During gameplay, you'll see stuff like Turf Wars, where a monster bitch slaps the other one, showcasing a natural hierarchy in the ecosystem. As a player, you are given multiple choices based on your environment. You can jump in and get bitch slapped too, or cook a meal because you forgot to eat for the fourth goddamn hunt in a row. Meanwhile, the monsters continue fighting, making your job easier by dealing damage to each other. That's emergent gameplay at its best. Even though the world of Monster Hunter is full of dragons and monsters the size of skyscrapers, it's still grounded in logic. Every creature feels like it could exist if evolution just, took a few lines. Delicious in Dungeon takes the opposite approach. Most of its monsters are strange, irrational, and magical. Treasure bugs look like piles of gold, until bros long overdue 10 gold coins grow legs and run away. Changeling mushrooms can literally rewrite a character's race or reshape equipment. Imagine your copy of Silksong just being reshaped into the newest AAA slop. Oof. And then there's Living Armor, which is basically just a sentient Dark Souls cosplay. What I'm trying to say with these examples is that most of the monsters in Delicious in Dungeon are not really given that much thought to fit in an ecosystem in a logical way. They usually take the magical approach. Of course, there are monsters which fit the logical explanation, like the dragon, griffon, and others, but my focus is on the magical side of things. At the end of the day, Monster Hunter is the meme of the guy scribbling equations on a chalkboard, while Delicious in Dungeon is the guy saying magic. Two different vibes, same goal. Worlds that really feel alive. This mix of a logical ecosystem and magical monsters is exactly what I'm looking for my own project. Strange monsters forming a semi-coherent ecosystem while also creating a lot of emergent gameplay. This idea sat in my head for years, thinking about it from time to time, but I didn't really have the skills to do it. Well, now I do, and that's why we're here. So, what's the game about? It's a first-person co-op roguelite RPG set in a semi-persistent dungeon that mixes handcrafted design with random generation. In order to give you a better idea, here's the gameplay loop. You start by creating a character with a race and class. Races give you unique strengths and weaknesses. For example, a dwarf is stronger than a human, but can carry more loot, at the cost of being slower and, well, a short king. An elf might be great at magic, but very bad in melee, and can't really carry that much. Classes, on the other hand, are more like starter kits. Start as a warrior, rogue, or mage, but you can still pick up new skills along the way. Want to be a rogue who also shoots fireballs? Go for it. Once you're in the dungeon, you can explore solo or with up to 6 friends. Or more. Just mod the fucking game. During your adventure, you will face unique monsters, traps, and puzzles. And here's the twist. Your actions carry over between runs. Build a bridge across a chasm. It will be there the next time, unless your friend with a dummy thick backpack collapses it. kill a tough monster that ended your previous few runs, it's gone for a while, or maybe another creature moves into its lair. Runs end either when you wipe or when you escape back to the surface, where you can do the usual sell loot, upgrade, or reroll a new character. But if you get attached to one of your characters, for example your extremely edgy OC rogue with the most tragic of backstories, don't worry. Grab a revive spell or just force your friend to play a priest, and you can recover his body in your next run. He's back, just maybe missing a few levels and the pieces of equipment. Now, I know that what I just explained sounds like scoping nightmare with so many moving stuff. And it is. But do not worry, I have a lot of free time. Alright, I've bored you enough with theory and design, and let's talk about what's actually built so far. I started a few weeks ago by creating a basic physics movement system from scratch. The first things I worked on were the basics: moving, jumping, and crouching. After playing around a bit with it and tweaking the values, I added some quality of life systems like coyote time, which basically means that when you walk off of a platform, you have a very small window of time where you can still jump instead of plummeting to your death. I added some air control for better platforming and so that jumping doesn't feel restrictive. Even after this, I felt like the movement was still not spicy enough, so I added some extra options: sliding and ledge climbing, which both worked perfectly on the first try. Okay, let's see, now this should work. While I still have stuff I want to add, the architecture of the movement logic is complete. So I decided to press the big multiplayer button and... yeah, that doesn't exist. I'm sure this is easy to do. I mean, after all, everybody in Gamedev complains about how hard it is. But it can't really be that hard, can it? Networking this drove me insane. So here's the main problem. If I ever want to implement matchmaking or public lobbies, I need to make sure that glue-eating cheaters don't ruin the experience for others. This means I can't really use client authoritative movement and object spawning. I tried making the movement server authoritative, but this makes movement feel like shit for everyone except the host. One of the most used solutions to this problem is client prediction, which in simpler terms simulates the movement on the client side and shows that instead. And if an anomaly is ever detected, say somebody teleports, we just pop the player back to the server position. I then implemented networking for all the parts of the movement system and some helper methods for the AI pathfinding for later on. And yep, that's it. There's also some music you heard at the beginning and some 3D models I'm too ashamed to show. While this doesn't sound like much, networking is a really long process and a very hard one at that. So for the next devlogs, I will probably have more. Alright, what's planned for the future? Well, if you enjoy my content or want to see my game come to life, subscribe. If you want to be an active member in the development of the game, I have made a Discord server where you can post ideas or designs. I can't promise that they will make it in the game, but I promise you that I will read every singular one of them. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll come back for the next devlog.